Now watch how desperately this CNN tries to avoid telling everybody that it's the Republican Party, and just the Republican Party, that is taking away abortion rights.
In our health lead, we are now going to take a look beyond the politics of the coast-to-coast fight over abortion rights.
Beyond the politics.
At the consequences of the new laws passed in the wake of the Supreme Court decision
by the Republicans
striking down Roe v. Wade. As you know, many states are enacting restrictions or outright bans, while other states are trying to make abortion more easily accessible to anyone who can get across their borders. CNN senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen brings us now the story of a woman who was caught in the middle of this ugly fight.
In a Republican state.
And it could have killed her.
Kaylee Despain got married in Marble Falls, Texas, right out of college.
What were your plans for having a family?
Oh man, we wanted kids like right away.
Late last year, Kaylee, a third-grade teacher, and her husband, Cade, an electrician, were thrilled to learn she was pregnant. But about 4 months later, at a doctor's appointment,
he said, this is what a normal heart looks like, but this is what your baby's heart looks like. And he was missing heart chambers.
Her medical records show more. The fetus had an extra set of chromosomes, a severe brain defect, a severe heart defect, and his lungs were too small. Dr. Leah Tatum is a spokesperson for the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
If the fetus develops to term, that fetus will deliver and ultimately that baby will suffocate and pass away.
Kaylee's doctor was clear.
When he's born, he's going to suffocate to death. He may live for a few minutes, he may live for an hour, but he is going to die.
Her doctors said they could not perform an abortion, noting in her records termination is not legal in the state of Texas.
Because of Republicans.
I remember her saying, you know, the course of action that I would have taken with a patient a year ago would be to advise them to terminate. She said that is the safest course of action for you, and it's the most humane course of action for him. And I just remember being so angry and shocked in that moment.
The safest action.
I'm being told that my child's not going to survive and that I have to carry him to term no matter what.
All this pain is because of the Republicans.
Could have put Kaylee's life in danger. She was at high risk for several potentially deadly pregnancy complications, blood clots, preeclampsia, and cancer because of an abnormal placenta. Texas law allows for abortion if the mother has a life-threatening physical condition that places her at risk of death or substantial impairment. But Texas lawmakers haven't spelled out exactly what that means.
They're extremely vague. They don't spell out exactly the situations when an abortion can be provided.
People are scared
I would say it's the opposite. They're extremely restrictive and broad. They threaten criminal penalties
because
against
this is what
physicians.
Republicans want.
They threaten to take someone's medical license away.
The Despains were faced with a choice. Kaylee could risk her life and give birth to a baby who would die quickly, or go out of state and have an abortion.
How could you be so cruel as to pass a law that you know will hurt women and that you know will cause babies to be born in pain?
Why?
Who is going to
because
die
the media gives them a pass.
So how is that humane? How is
That's why they get away with this and don't care.
They decided to travel to New Mexico. Texas law prohibits insurance companies from paying for abortions in most cases, so Cade said he had to convince a relative to give them thousands of dollars.
My job as a husband is to protect and love my wife.
Now that relative can be sued.
If I'm not fighting to keep her here, then I failed.
The doctors in New Mexico recorded the baby's heartbeat. Kaylee sleeps with the giraffe at night and cries, mourning the loss of her baby and another loss too. She and Cade were born and raised in Texas.
And I've never felt more betrayed by a place that I was once so proud to be from.
They desperately want to have another baby, but there's a high likelihood that something will go wrong again.
The last time that I saw my OB, she said, do not get pregnant in Texas right now. She said, this is not safe.
Now Kaylee and Cade have to decide, abide by that advice and leave Texas, leave their families and their jobs, or stay in Texas and risk Kaylee's life once again. We reached out to 10 state legislators in Texas who authored or sponsored the state's anti-abortion laws. We did not get one response. Not one legislator wrote us back with their thoughts on Kaylee's situation. Not one legislator took responsibility for the very laws that they wrote. Jake?
Not only are they not taking responsibility, the media also will not take responsibility by holding these politicians accountable, they're going to be able to come on CNN and push anything else that they want and not be asked any questions by these people. They have, without a doubt, gone out of their way to ignore the fact that the people taking away abortion rights are all Republicans, and those that are making it easier for those in red states to have abortions when they cross borders are all Democrats. Why didn't they mention either party at all? It's because they want to make it seem like this is not a partisan issue, because it is devastating to Republicans as they are constantly running away from this issue lately. And they spent decades lying to the American people about what they actually wanted to do, and the media ignored it. So to the media, admitting that they didn't inform you and that they failed would be problematic. So that's probably another reason why they're covering up for the Republicans' anti-abortion crusade. So if you like those videos, please help. The YouTube algorithm is horribly biased against, progressives. And the Republicans have massive amounts of money just to buy it off. So every time you like, every time you put a comment down below, helps us out. So like, subscribe, and if you really want to help the environment, down below is a link to a GoFundMe page where it has a brand new power generation that is 0% carbon emission and one of the cheapest productions of electricity the world has ever had. So go down, help us out.